People want to act like our ancestors was just standing around like, man, I hope we can get free. Man, that's why I don't call them slaves anymore. Because a slave is somebody you got their mind almost like an animal. Our ancestors was cutting and running every chance they got. And you heard what the man was saying. When you ran the first time, they cut off 3 toes. Then they cut off something else. And then if you ran 3 times, they castrated you.
Right.
That is not.
In your ears, and then they castrate you.
Right. Those are not the actions of a slave. Those are the actions of freedom seeker.
And what's her name? Margaret Garner? The one who left Covington? No. She got to Covington and went across to Ohio.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sure that's where she was going. And because she didn't want her kids to go back into slavery.
Right.
She slit the throat of her daughter and couldn't get to her boys.
Right. She could have. I don't know why. I forgot why she did, but it was her intention to kill all of them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She killed the daughter. And they walked. You think about it, they walked across that river, that frozen river, like step by step, because it was cold. You know what I mean? I was like, the story they were telling about that, I was like, that really takes determination to do that, man. Really. You know what I mean?
I don't know if either one of you've ever been to Cincinnati.
Yep.
But when I went for the music fest, I had to stay. Well, I didn't have to stay, but we stayed in Covington, which is right across the river, and it's probably like maybe a 5-minute drive to go across the river from Covington to Cincinnati. But yeah, just knowing, like, I could see where they were coming from and going to.
Yeah, man.
That was a long way. From what they were showing on that on what I've seen, I was like, having little kids and walking in that snow and being kept on. But if that ice would have just cracked, they was done. Yeah.
But think about it. I'm gonna take my chance on this ice and die versus going to deal with your ass. I would rather die.
On the other side, back where you came from.
Yeah, man. And again, they don't tell you the type of intestinal fortitude our ancestors had.
So our folks was going up north. They was just like, fuck that, we going up north. Then they made some type of law like, hey, if anybody coming up north, you know, y'all need to bring it back down here, or some type of law they was making. 1850 the Slave Act. Okay, 1850 the Slave Act, which turned to the north to help the captive enslaved, which our ancestors. To say that the North was the police officer of our ancestors going up north. So they were trying to get help from the people in the North to bring them back down, or pretty much letting them know that you got some folks up here. You know what I'm saying? Turning them over to the bounty hunters that was going to be looking for them.
Yeah, and then like the book I was telling you about last week, the kidnappers. You got the kidnappers. This was a industry in New York City, capturing brothers and sisters, taking them to Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi. Free people, naturalized people, and just grabbing them and taking them somewhere else and making them slaves. Forcing them into slavery.
You know who played a big factor during those times, from what I was understanding, part 2 was Canada, man. They was trying to get to Canada. Canada, they was like, oh, you good. You know what I mean? We ain't working like that. You know, can you speak on that? One of you guys.
Well, the Canadians weren't as harsh as the Americans, but they were harsh too because remember, even in this docuseries, they tell you they got up there and then got to acting a fool with the brothers and sisters there, but at least they gave them their own time. So, so I'm not gonna diminish the Canadians' role in the freedom of our ancestors and giving them the ability to escape the tyranny, but I don't want to gloss over the fact that they was up there clowning too.
Right. They're not gonna get a pass, in other words.
Right. Let's not say, hey man, they was cool, because they up there acting a fool to this very day. Because
don't let J-Ron hear you say that.
J-Ron, no. J-Ron has mentioned it. Seriously. He's mentioned it in the chat.
Well, I'm just joking.
They also touched the story about Frederick Douglass,
and
I never saw. Have you ever saw that Lincoln? I never watched that Lincoln movie. I don't know.
I never watched it either.
I didn't either.
But I know that the whole image of Lincoln that we got in school is a lie.
A lie. A whole lie.
All them cats. Those cats, it's crazy how now you think about what they were teaching us. It's like, damn.
We've been indoctrinated into white supremacy. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, they made it seem like Lincoln actually, here's the thing. When Lincoln signed that damn emancipation, he literally had funds set to the side so you could take your ass back to Africa. That's how the country Liberia was created. He was giving landowners reparations and gave you them $300 a man and gave you enough money to get back to the continent. He literally has made the statement, this country will never be for both of us. So all this BS, man, Abraham Lincoln, that just shows you how guys like Trump say things and he's partially indoctrinated into the same tomfoolery he's spewing. I've done more for black people. I've done the most for black people since Abraham Lincoln. Well, Abraham Lincoln didn't do nothing for black people because at the end of the day, the Emancipation Proclamation freed our ancestors in the South. That's like Joe Biden telling the people in Mexico, y'all can have Friday off. You're like, you ain't the president here. So the whole Abraham Lincoln thing is a farce. And unless y'all gonna move on, y'all gonna continue. Before we move on, I want to bring up this one thing I learned from Dr. Claude Anderson. It's called Marital Manumission. And Marital Manumission was a law passed in 1771 that stated you can have your freedom if you made life easier for a white man, saved a white man's life, or snitched on a slave revolt. That's why you got those slaves snitching on revolts, because they didn't have the faith to run away. So they was like, if I snitch on them, I can get away.
And it's called, what was the name of the law?
Marital Manumission.
Okay.
1771. So that is a law that the whole crabs in the barrel thing, that is what put us in the barrel. Because you got people snitching on other people for their own betterment, which I can't judge them for that because hell, I wasn't living in that type of tyranny.
Right.
So I'm not gonna judge you for it. It's easy to be standing here in 2020 saying I wouldn't snitch on nobody, but with a foot up your ass every day, you're gonna do whatever you need to do to survive. So, I mean, like I said, it's dope And I'm glad we able to share this information with each other, simply because by sharing this information, we win. We are winning. There's no shortcuts about it. There's no ifs, ands, buts, and maybes about it. We are winning by sharing this information, because it's just sending what we're doing to me is sending each other down rabbit holes. And the deeper you go down that rabbit hole, the more you realize Mansa Musa is the damn king's name. I've been trying to think of that king name since show started. Man, I've been racking my brain for that. Mansa Musa, richest man, according to history, he the richest man in the world to this very day. There's nobody who has had more gold and resources than Mansa Musa up until this day. History teaches us that Mansa Musa makes Jeff Bezos look like a fucking pauper. He was sending, when he went to kick it, he bought 70,000 soldiers with him. Just to kick it.
Right.
So, you know, it's like, hey, DGrate, me and the guys will be in LA Friday. I show up with 70,000 brothers to kick it.
I'm like that's a lot. You didn't tell me all these people.
Right. I ain't got this. I don't have this many ribs, dog. So, and that was just, we out here. And then they draped in the finest cloths and gold and all that. So that's how they was rolling. So, again, man, it's just situations to whereas the more you learn about your folks, the greater you sing, you know. Like, that's why I be putting those things at the beginning of my show to bring things to people's attention. Like, I bet most people don't know a brother invented the damn remote control. A sister invented the security system in your house. And I bet you any amount of money these damn people like at Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, I bet you they still using our ancestor Henrietta Lacks genes, because she has cured over 168 illnesses. She died from cervical cancer in the early 1900s, and they have been using her cells to cure diseases since. They don't teach you that in school, though, do they?
And we learned from this past episode that, I mean, we already knew that we built this nation, right?
Right.
And they emphasize how we built the capital.
Yes.
Brick by brick, stone by stone.
Yeah.
They said on top of the capital was we have placed a native. Yeah. That was. I'm like.
Cast it by one of us. Cast it by us.
Right. What was the purpose of that? Was they trying to? Because they felt sorry because they took their land when they came over here.
No. A lot of genealogy tracing states that we were those people who they call Indians are our ancestors. I'm gonna put that at the top of my show this week. 1,000 years ago, brothers and sisters were here. Perfect example. You know, Gates, Dr. Henry Louis Gates. He did an ancestry on Black Thought, the MC. Traced his family back here to the 1300s. How is that possible when y'all didn't get here for 400 years ago? And according to the lie that y'all taught us, Columbus got here in 1492. So how the hell is Black Thought family traced here in the 1300s? Like out there where you at, DGrate, the Folsom people are black people. The same people they named that damn prison after. Here thousands of years ago. So it's been argued that the people that they call Native Americans are actually